puzzle. And I just noticed that I typed onshore instead of Onshape. So let me fix that. Okay, now we're going to want to do the pool ladder. And you're looking at these bars, and the first thing that might come to mind is how would I use the extrude tool to do this? And you can't really, because you could extrude this cylinder, and this diagonal cylinder. And then I suppose you could use a revolve to revolve a circle around here, and then attach all those parts together, but that takes a while. But instead, we can use the sweep tool to just take a circle and sweep it across this whole path. And we can start by drawing out a circle. And because the pipe has a diameter of 1, we're going to want to do 1. Then we'll go to a perpendicular plane and sketch out the actual sweep path. So let's go down to our dimensional drawing. First, we'll just draw the general shape out. Now, this goes up 30 inches, so I might want to zoom out. This is angled at 45 degrees. How long is this? I see. So this lower part is 42 inches. And then the edge of this is 6 inches away from the start. And this is 12 inches away. Now, we also want to fillet. And let's see. All fillets are 3 inches in diameter. So we'll go to our sketch fillet tool and fillet these. And it just so happens that it's already selected as 3 inches. But if I didn't want that, I could edit it. We'll do this fillet, and we'll do this fillet. And now that all of these are done, we have our shape of the pipe and the sweep path. So we go to sweep. We go to sweep path, and we just select all these, or you could drag and select as many as you can. And this gives us the path. And let's make this metallic-y. There we go. Now, our next tube is going to be 24 inches away. So we could do exactly what we just did all over again, but instead, we could just mirror it, and that will save us a lot of time. So first we need a mirror plane, which we will offset at 12 inches, because that's half of 24. Then we go to mirror plane, and we can mirror this whole part. Now, the instructions say that this should all be one part. But as of right now, we have 2 parts because they're not connected, so they can't be one part, really. But when we get the rungs in, then we can start to add multiple parts. So, the bottom of the first rung is 12 inches below the start. So let's create another plane, and we'll select the top. Oh, whoops, that's the front plane. No, the top plane, and we will offset it 12 inches. Then we can draw on this plane. And we need kind of something to draw around the bars. So we can use the use tool. And that, well, some of the faces could not be used in this sketch. Oh, I know why. Because we have to use the intersect tool. So this will be the intersection of where this part intersects the plane. And that will draw a little circle for us that we can use in our drawings. So, now how thick is the rung? 2 inches. So, first let's just draw a line like this. And then we'll draw a line that goes 1 inch out. And then 1 inch out in the other direction. And then we can use our 3-point arc and drag this to the center. And then, if we find the midpoint of this line, we can save some time by only drawing half of the drawing and then mirroring it across that line. And even if we were to change how far apart these are, since we've defined this line as the midpoint of how far apart they are, no matter how we adjusted the distance between these bars in the future, this would always work automatically updatingly. That wasn't the right words, But you know what I mean. No matter how we adjust these in the future, this will update accordingly. There we go. So we want to go to mirror and select what we've drawn so far. And now we do have some extra lines in here. So when we extrude, I'm going to have to extrude as multiple different sections, and that's a pain. So one way to get around that, I mean, in this case, it wouldn't be too many parts, but we just take the lines that aren't actually defining the shape, but are just defining the distances, and we change them to construction lines. And now they'll stay to define the distances that we need, but they won't appear when we select the shape. So, and this was 12 inches from the bottom of the rung, so we'll need to extrude 1 inch. How thick is each rung? Does it say? No, I will actually have to add that in the drawing. So it will say when I'm done with this, 1 inch up, and then we have 2 more rungs, each 12 inches below. So we could mirror this and then mirror it again, but there's an even quicker way to do it since we have 3 things. Because if we had like 12 rungs, we'd have to mirror each time, and that takes a while. So one thing we can do is use the linear pattern tool. And we'll take this because we want to pattern this. And the direction is downwards. And we have this little line at the edge of our rung. And they are 12 inches between them. And we are doing 3 of them. And that will do that. And now we have it, except they're all separate parts. Now to combine them all into one part, we can drag this over everything and go to Boolean. And then Boolean union, this will create all of these into one part. And now we have our pull ladder.